Boxing Lowdown, and I'm back here with another video. Now, as always, guys, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Feel free to drop a comment and I'll happily get back to you. Now, let's talk about it, man. Like I said, July is looking very good. I know we've had a few fights already, but the remainder of the fights for July are looking very, very good. I mean, we got the undisputed heavyweight title fight next weekend. We've got a great double header this weekend. And then we've also got, to start off before that, Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. We've got Clarissa Shields fighting at the end of the month. So yeah, July is pretty much stacked in terms of boxing fights. And let's talk about this one, man, because it's going to be a very good one. Edgar Berlanga and Hamzah Sheeraz. You know, this is part of the double header that's taking place in New York City this weekend. Also with Shakur Stevenson and William Cepeda on the bill. So very good double header. Big up Turkey Al Sheikh every time. Come on. Looking forward to this one, man. Edgar Berlanga and Hamzah Sheeraz. Now, these two, well, I say these two, it really is just Edgar Berlanga who's been going at it at Hamzah Sheeraz. He's been really trying to intimidate Hamzah Sheeraz. He's been loud, he's been abrasive, he's been dismissive, he's been disrespectful, really, to Hamzah Sheeraz, who, of course, is moving up in weight. Hamzah Sheeraz was a middleweight. He did struggle in his last fight against Carlos Adames. I thought he was lucky to come out of that with a draw. But, you know, he's moved up in weight. He feels more comfortable at super middleweight, so he says. And he's going up against Edgar Berlanga straight away, which is, you know, quite a good, you know, he's not testing the waters. He's going straight up there against a top-ranked super middleweight. Now, Edgar Berlanga has been very, very dismissive. I'm sure you guys have seen the press conferences, you know, how disrespectful he's been. He's been putting his finger in Hamzah Sheeraz's face, saying he's going to knock him out in the first round. But Hamzah Sheeraz's demeanour, his coolness, the way how he's approaching this fight has been impressive to me. He hasn't taken the bait, and I think that's going to work in his favour. You know, I'm not convinced with Edgar Berlanga and, you know, the talk and everything else. I never have been. And that's no disrespect to Edgar Berlanga, but let's just be honest here. I've never been that impressed with him. And I think Hamzah Sheeraz can go on and win this for sure. I'm actually picking him to win this. So, of course, it's a new weight division. Edgar Berlanga is a big super middleweight. The fight is taking place in New York, which is where Edgar Berlanga resides, where he's from. But Edgar Berlanga is no Felix Trinidad. You know what I mean? He's no Miguel Cotto. He's not even a Zab Judah in terms of having the backing behind him. I didn't see, you know, sold out people at the press conference, a huge crowd waiting for him. I don't think he's got that same pull as those guys who are all, from New York. I know Trinidad's not, but, you know, his base was there. Obviously, Cotto the same. And Zab, he's from Brooklyn. So, yeah, he is from there. But, yeah, I don't think the crowd's going to be that much of a factor, for one. And Hamzah Sheeraz, for me, doesn't look intimidated at all. He's got Andy Lee in his corner, who is a great trainer. He just seems very focused and just focused on the task. And Hamzah Sheeraz has been to America before in terms of going in the gyms. He's been in there. He sparred with, it's not the same as fighting, but he's gone in there as a British guy. He sparred with, you know, the American guys in the gyms. And, you know what it's like. You come from another area, another country. You go to America, you go in their gyms, you spar their fighters. They're going to show you something new. They're going to take you somewhere that you may not want to go. Your heart is going to get tested in those gyms in America for sure, especially if you're like from Britain or something. So I have to shout out Hamzah Sheeraz for going over there and training over there. He's been doing that for a while. And I think that's probably going to ready him nicely for this sort of fight. I think that he could put in a good performance here and beat Edgar Berlanga for sure. I'm not fully convinced with him. The only thing with me with Hamzah Sheeraz, though, is that the Carlos Adames fight was a bit worrying in terms of he was shelling up a lot. He shelled up a lot when he didn't have it his own way. When somebody was fighting back, throwing punches, he shelled up. He didn't open up. Now, he did come out and say that he hurt his hand in that fight. He even showed us pictures of his hand. But yeah, and it was a draw. But for me, I thought Adames won that, and a lot of people did as well. This is going to be interesting in terms of how will Sheeraz negotiate the weight. It is a bigger weight, but he has got a huge frame. He's got a massive frame. He's like 6+, and I'm sure he'll carry that weight well. A lot of people didn't even get how he was getting down to middleweight. So yes, he could carry the weight well, but it is his first fight at 168 pounds, and he's going up against a big guy in Edgar Berlanga at 168. He's not a small super middle by any means. So this should be a good fight in terms of, you know, how will he negotiate the weight? The fact that there's been a lot of drama going into it. You know, Edgar Berlanga being very disrespectful. I'm sure when the weigh-in comes and everything else, it's going to, you know, reach that intensity even more. So will Hamzah Sheeraz be able to negotiate that? I think he will. I think that he's been very cool, calm and collected. And I think he's going to take that into the ring. Will Edgar Berlanga be too emotional? Is he believing his own hype? Or is he just doing it just to try and rattle Hamzah Sheeraz? Has he seen the way how Hamzah Sheeraz shelled up against a much smaller guy than him? And, you know, be licking his lips at the prospect of that? Maybe. We'll see. I'm looking forward to this doubleheader, man. I am picking Hamzah Sheeraz to win. I think he'll win this on points. But Edgar Berlanga, he's not a huge knockout puncher. I mean, he can punch, but he's not a huge one. Not at that elite level anyway. I'm not saying Hamzah Sheeraz is elite yet. But you got to remember, guys, before the Adames fight, Hamzah Sheeraz over here in the UK was one of the most top-rated, you know, up-and-coming fighters that we've got. You know, he still is. He's one of the, out of all the guys on the up right now, he is definitely one that is considered who could potentially go all the way. So, yeah, this is a good fight for him in terms of, you know, Edgar Berlanga is a name. So this is a good fight for him in terms of getting a name on his resume, like someone like Edgar Berlanga. Obviously, Berlanga did lose to Canelo. Can Hamzah Sheeraz go out there and do one better? Can he knock out Edgar Berlanga? That would be a huge statement, especially in New York. So let's see. I'm looking forward to it. Berlanga's been talking a lot, but I think Hamzah Sheeraz is going to win this. I think he's going to win it. Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below, guys, and I'll catch you on the next video.